over the last couple of years, we've had many discussions about Sadia Khan in particular.
Yeah.
Just because we had a lot of
Yeah.
we had a lot of opinions around the way that she kind of demonizes women and kind of promotes toxic masculinity in some way, even though she's saying that, even though she's trying to teach men how to be high value men.
Yeah. I also think like she's being a big part, I mean, of this war between men and women as well.
Yeah.
By what she was saying, And also she's being a part of this army of YouTubers.
Right.
I don't say that you cannot empower men, but there were no balance. It's more like empower men because they know that men are looking for guidance
right.
on social media. I would say maybe more than women.
Yeah, when we did research, we definitely learned that men do like search more for relationship advice on YouTube than women do, and it makes sense because men don't talk between each other.
Exactly.
And men don't go seeking advice from their dads or other people.
Yes.
So they kind of do it in private, and they're just looking for someone to help them understand their feelings and their wants and needs. And so because they have to do it in private, they're just like at home on their computer searching it, so nobody knows that they're struggling,
Yeah, and so she was a part of those. I call this army because you could see that there is her, there is Myron, Myron. I don't know his name again. Forgot the rest of his name. It's not relevant anyway. Sadia, Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
All those. They have the same type of messages,
That's right.
And like I said, they make more money as well.
Cooley as well.
Yeah. They make more money by attacking women as well. This is something that they probably figured out.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen over watching all of these people in discussions, they talk through a lens that is partially influenced by religion, like the way they grew up religiously.
Yeah.
Also, it's interesting because they talk more about women who come from broken households or who are, had a vulnerable upbringing.
Yeah.
And who might be more prone to making decisions that aren't necessarily progressive for their life, right? So they're talking about these women, and then they're talking about quote unquote high value men.
Yeah.
And so it's they're creating a bigger gap because what they're doing is it's either the good girl or the bad girl. And I always find that quite funny when women like Sadia Khan, for example, talk about the good girl perspective. Because again, like as soon as you start talking about good girl, you're putting yourself under the man. Because the term girl is for a child. It's not for a grown person. So I think the goal is to be a good human.
Yeah.
Not a good girl.
Exactly. But the behind this, when you say religion and everything, I think as well that the algorithm and the audience statistic as well play a big part on what they are saying.
Absolutely.
Now on YouTube, this is how crazy it is because before and still people have prejudices. People are what they are thinking and what their value is led by their education, their religion, where they come from, their background, and etc., etc. Yeah, of course. But now, the experimented YouTubers are also talking about things based on the algorithm.
The experience.
The experience.
Yeah.
YouTubers, and even the one who start, because now we all know.
Right.
They are talking and they are saying things not because they believe in it 100%, or not because they practice it as well. That's something that we're going to talk about, or they live what they're talking about, but because there is an audience.
Works. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing that that Trump does. It's the same thing that Hitler did.
Yes.
It's that tactic, is the shock value. And then that when they say things that are unhinged or people are too afraid to say out loud, but they're secretly thinking it, especially misogynistic people, then they attract this audience. And then they also attract the people who are completely disgusted by that.
Yeah.
And later on, they'll start to attract people who are actually educated and have a balanced view of relationships, because they start to talk about things that make sense. So it's like, they start with this shock value, like Andrew Tate, he'll talk about slapping women and, women, he can cheat and they can't, and this and that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he changes his tune and says that, if he's in a relationship, he doesn't cheat. Then in his real life, we see that he does beat women and cheat on them. So it's quite interesting, because he will just say anything at any time, depending on his mood, depending on who he's talking to, depending on which audience he wants to reach. Because if you look at his videos from which you showed me when he was a boxer, and the way that he spoke and the way that he carried himself was very of an insecure man in a way.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like this macho who's yelling at the camera with all his very strong opinions.
But why you're talking about that?